Okay. Thanks. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. It's February the 18th, 2022. And I was hoping we might have a surprise guest tonight, but he's not going to show up. I invited Steve or Rick Salmon is in town, and we've been going back and forth about a couple other things, and I was hoping he might drop in. I gave him the invitation, but he probably has other things going on tonight. So sorry, I tried. Anyway.
He has life.
Yeah, he's got stuff going on. He was out shooting at Mayaca River State Park all day today. So anyway, I was glad to see everybody here. We don't seem to have any visitors, but we've got some folks that we haven't seen for a while, like Leon. And I'm glad to see that we've got Tom on tonight, Barry, our newer members, and Jan and Sherry. So thanks for coming, guys. And all the rest of y'all, you're old members, so we're glad you're here too. So not old members. Mature experienced members. So anyway, glad you all are here. And we have Helga incognito as usual. So just a couple of quick announcements here. Just wanted to remind everybody, obviously this month's assignment was emotion. Got a lot more entries than I thought we did. We actually ended up getting 22 of them, and that's not bad. March is light trails. So, be out there looking for artistic ways of using light trails. FYI, I put out a notice that some of us are going to the fair on Sunday night. Great place for light trails, long exposures, bring the tripod, and do some light trails there. April, our subject is triptych, which that's 3 images all on the same image, basically 3 images in 1 image. And those 3 images need to be related to each other. So try, 3 pictures that tell a story all in one. And usually with those, you shouldn't even need a title, but they need to be titled anyway. But anyway, triptych. In May is wildflowers. So these are the next 3 months coming up. Our education night, the education nights that are coming up this month, next Friday is going to be astrophotography, and one of our new members here, Barry, is going to be doing it in conjunction with Jim Sykes. And so you guys, if you haven't seen the announcement on the website, take a look at it, because we put some pictures on there that both from Barry and from Jim, and they're going to kind of go over basics of what it takes to shoot the night sky. Specifically to get the moon, and then some time exposure stuff, which you would need to know in order to do the Milky Way. And so what are the basic kind of astrophotography? Maybe sometime later we'll get into more details if people are interested in it. This is all preparation for hopefully sometime later in the year an outing where we're shooting at night, specifically for that. So, and please watch the video. Barry's got a lot of information to go over. Watch it. It's going to be recorded, so you will not have to take notes. Listen to him. Watch. You can read as there's a lot of information in there, so don't try to. It's all recorded. You don't need to write it down. March education night is kind of up in the air right now. I'm still trying to find somebody for March. Hopefully, I'll have that before the next meeting. April, we're going to be talking about minimalism, and that is one of our subjects for the future, one of our assignments. So a friend of mine named Scott Norris, who lives up north somewhere, I can't remember where, Wisconsin, I think. That's his specialty. Almost everything he shoots is a minimalist type of style. April will be the power of personal projects with photography. Another one of my friends, Mary Roberts, she lives in North Carolina. She is a retired teacher, and this is one of her specialties. She does a lot of photographic projects, and she, basically shows you what you need to do what you need to do it, and then what you should accomplish while doing it. And it can be a short project or a long project. So those are the education nights that we've got booked so far. Actually, we have a couple more, but they're later. Our next outing is going to be on February the 26th, which is a week from tomorrow, next Saturday. And it's going to be at Circle B Bar Reserve, which again, there's an announcement with all the details on the website. We'll be meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning at the, there's like 5 or 6 parking lots. And there's a parking lot sort of in the middle, and there's unfortunately the marking thing that's there is porta potties. There's three or four porta potties right on the backside of the parking lot, and there's a pavilion that's right next to that, or adjacent to it. And hopefully I'll be able to, I'm going to get there early so that we can have the pavilion for a few minutes, because the trail that goes out to where we want to go is right off of that parking lot. So we'll meet for a few minutes at the pavilion or nearby if we can't get to the pavilion, and we'll talk about Circle B. I'll talk about what you hope to look for, how to look for it, just a few minutes of discussion, and then we'll move on out, and everybody can go at their own pace. It's just a couple of trails, so you can't get lost out there. I mean, some of us have been out there many times. So looking forward to seeing as many of y'all out there as possible. Again, sunscreen, a hat, water, bring your long lens. If you want to sit in one spot, bring a stool or something to sit on. And then, and just, we'll go out and we'll spend a couple of hours there because it's starting to get warm actually pretty early. So we don't want to get out there and get too hot. But anyway, that is on the 26th. The next outing that we're planning, we still haven't got it down to the date, everything. Hopefully will be in March or early April, and we're planning on going to Zoo Tampa. And hopefully that, another probably Saturday morning. And we had a couple other things in the works, but I'm not going to talk about those because we're not sure on any of those yet. But before I get before we get onto the competition and critiques, I want to share my screen, and I'm going to share the highlight photos from Photo Camp, which some of y'all here went to. A lot didn't. It was a very small group of people, but we still had a good time, even though the weather wasn't the greatest. And we ended up the people that were going to stay over Saturday night ended up not staying overnight because it started raining. We fortunately decided to pack up and move out. And as we were leaving the park, it started to pour. So it was perfect timing. And those of us that were left, we went and had lobster rolls at Lobster Haven. So that was our big dinner out for the camp out. So anyway, let me show you that. It's only about 1.5 minutes long, so it won't take too long.
Hey, Lynn.
Yeah.
Can I just mention about the zoo? I was going to go the other day. It has gone up. It's $44 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea they were that high.
The one-day pass now is $41, but if you get the pass where you can go the whole year, it's $44.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe we won't be going to Zoo Tampa.
Well, I'm just saying,
Okay.
I like the zoo, and
okay. Can you see my screen, guys?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Quickie. That's it.
Very nice.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get started with the competition. Can you see my Lightroom?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, our first one is called this is assigned. The first one is called admiration. Score is 23. That is an award for Jim Hagan. Next one is Friends Bring Happiness Worldwide. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jack. Next one is Carefree Mermaid. Score is 21. That's an honorable mention for Jim Hagan. Next one is Anticipating a Treat. Score is 23. That's an award for Rod. Next one is Fishing Surprise. Score is 23. That's an award for Rod. Next one is Fun Getting Twisted. Score is 23. That's an award for Chuck. Next one is Boundless Joy versus Restful Break. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Chuck. Next one is All That Jazz. Score is 23. That's an award for Sylvia. Next one, A Birthday Kiss Brings Joy. Score is 23. That is an award for Jack. Next one is The Finish Line. Score is 23. That is an award for Karen. Next one is Ecstatic. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee. Next one is In the Zone. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Karen. Next one is Facing Your Fear of Water or Not. Score is 23. That's an award for Jim McWilliam. Next one is Fight Club. Score is 23. That's an award for Tom. Next one is Awestruck. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for myself. Next one is mom hug. Score is 24. That's an award for Tom. Next one is thrills, chills, and fun. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim McWilliam. Next one is called Angry. Score is 21. It's an honorable mention for Fong. Next one is Focused. Score is 22. It's an award for Sherry. Next one is Silly. Score is 23. That's an award for Sherry. Next one is Content Cat. Score is 22. That's an award for Barry. And the last assigned is Osprey's Warning Glare. Score is 22. That's an award for Barry. Okay. That is all the assigned. And let's go ahead and get into the general. Is everybody still there?
We're still here.
We're still there? Okay.
Still here.
We have a lot of stuff. I want to get through the judging pretty quickly because we have a lot of stuff to critique. So anyway, the next one is refreshments delivered. This is a general category. The score is 23. That's an award for Jack. The next one is Sunset at Portland Head Lighthouse. Score is 24. That's an award for Steve Zimick. Next one is You Humans Have No Tail. Score is 23. That's an award for Chuck. Next one is Chain Bridge, Budapest, Hungary. Score is 22. That's an award for Garrett. Next one is Red Shouldered Hawk.
I think that one's showing some emotion.
Yeah. The wrong category though. The score is 24 and it's an award for Steve Zimick. Excuse me. Excuse me. You know, frog in my throat here instead of a hairy, a furry, a feathery friend.
Careful, careful, careful.
Okay. Next one is Nature Coast Botanical Garden. Score is 23. That's an award for Jan. Next one is Blue Ridge Parkway Mill. Score is 23. That's an award for Brian. Next one is Sunset on Blue Ridge Parkway. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Brian. Next one is Winter at the Beach. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee. Next one is Reach for the Sun. Score is 23. That is an award for Lee. Next one is Lily Pond. Score is 23. That's an award for Sylvia. Next one is She Stood Out in a Crowd. Score is 23. That's an award for Sylvia. Next one is Grayton Beach. Score is 23. That's an award for Jan. Next one is Motion at the Courthouse. Score is 23. That's an award for Alan. Next one is Morning Race. Score is 23. That's an award for Fung. Next one is Light Lines. Score is 23. That's an award for myself. Next one is Separated. Score is 24. That's an award for myself. Next one is Waterfall at Rainbow Springs. Score is 23. That's an award for Rod. Next one is Chinese dancing. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Fung. Next one is Dandelion Seed in Milk.
Did you say in milk?
That's the title.
Okay.
Score is 24. That's an award for Helga. You can ask her. It must be orange milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah,
Maybe that's strawberry quick.
there you go. Next one is Curious Boy. Score is 23. That's an award for Tom. Next one is Channeling O'Keefe. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Karen. Next one is Dandelion Seed in Water. Score is 23. That's an award for Helga. Next one is Hay Silver. Score is 22. That's an award for Sherry. And the last one is Engineer carrying flare to crossing without power. Score is 23. That's an award for Barry. Okay. Everybody want to take a quick break? 5 minutes? Before we start the
Sure,
critiques?
sure.
Okay,
So let's be back here at 7:30, let's say 7:40.
Okay.
Hey, Lynn, where were you with the sand dunes?
Sorry?
Death Valley.
Oh,
You're
Death
saying-
Valley.
Oh, those Death Valley?
Yeah, Death Valley, yeah. Yeah, I was there a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was a great trip. I want to go back. I had been there before for 1 day and it wasn't long enough. I was there for 5 days this time and it wasn't long enough. I need to go back again for longer.
Eileen, do you know when this wine cream baby coming?
What?
I go to Gatorland, but the baby
Oh,
not
when do the
coming.
babies come?
Yeah,
Usually the baby, you're talking about the baby birds?
yeah.
Yeah, it's usually probably March, April. It's, mostly late March, April, May, and June.
Late March.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're laying the eggs. They'll be laying the eggs pretty soon because they're just starting to nest now. And they lay the eggs and they have to hatch the eggs out, and then the baby's got to get big enough so you can see them. So yeah, it's usually from April, May, and June is when the babies are visible.
Okay, thank you.
You know what? You could call them and ask them to give you an idea. If you say you want to go in late March or early April, call them up and ask them, and they'll tell you whether there's babies visible or not. Usually, so
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Lynn, do you know what the fees are for the fairground? Parking and
The
entrance?
fairgrounds. I did. Now I don't remember. I forgot.
Oh, I can look it up.
Yeah, you just go
probably.
onto the yeah, actually I'm gonna it's the easiest thing to do is just to buy your tickets online. And if there is a line, then you don't have to stand in line. I think it's either $10 or $15. I mean, we originally wanted to go on Tuesday when it's $2 Tuesday, but we had too many conflicts, so we couldn't go on Tuesday. So, and we didn't think about it until Tuesday, so it was sort of kind of late. So
Does it pay for parking also?
I don't think so, no.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's just the gate. You just have the gate. So you can actually go online and purchase your tickets ahead of time, and it saves a lot of time. You do have, they will check your bag. So if you bring a camera bag, they will go through it. It's like TSA only, the state fair.
Is there a place you meet?
We're probably because everybody's going to be coming at different times. I try to just text me when you get there, and I put my cell number on the email that I sent out, and just text me and I'll tell you where we are. What happens, what normally we've done in the past is we kind of come together initially, and then all of a sudden, everybody kind of just goes in their own. It's hard to keep up with people in that place. It's too many, just too much going on. And if
I
you stop,
understand.
if you stop to shoot something and people move on, it's like, okay, where'd they go?
I've been through there 5 times now with my camera equipment, and every time they just wave me through. They don't want to put up with, they don't even want to deal with me because they got so much stuff. I've
Now
never
they-
been forced to empty my pockets or my camera bag or anything.
They've looked at my camera bag, but other than that, nothing, nothing more than that. But it's not, just like I said, it's not quite TSA. It's TSA like.
Brian, you look like a former cop. So, yeah. Me,
Mr. Morris,
I was gonna say me, they confiscated 3 of my items. Of course, all 3 of them were illegal, but that's not the point.
Of course. Sure. Now he's canceled out his camera. He doesn't want us to see.
If you had drugs confiscated at the state fair, they smoke them themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, after they confiscated it, then they asked me if I wanted a tote.
Yeah.
I had TSA try and take Blue Label from me once. I was so irate. I walked into the gate check area and I donated it to the first guy in like a sports coat who looked suspicious.
Oh, I want to say to you, thank you. That was some good stuff.
So I got it at duty free and then they wouldn't let me like take it through. And so I went back to the check-in and I tried to see if I could put it just in a bag and they wouldn't let me do it. So I turned around and I offered it to like, hey, who wants Blue Label? And like all these people threw their hands up, but I gave it to the guy who raised his hand slowly because he was like, this is weird. Because I figured the guy who was suspicious would understand that Blue Label isn't something you give away unless you have to. But I figured he'd actually enjoy it.
Jeez.
Yeah, you remember it was like this.
Yeah, it was. It was like, really? Okay. I got mad. I was really mad.
Yeah, but because I had my face mask on, you didn't recognize me.
Here you go.
What is Blue Label?
It's like a good liquor,
Oh,
Oh,
like Johnny Walker, like Red Label, Black Label, Blue
Okay.
Label.
yeah.
I see.
They want you to buy the beer there. They want you to buy the alcohol there. I don't know that they even sell alcohol at the state fair.
If it was Johnny Walker Blue Label, oh my goodness. Over $200.
Yeah, I
Okay, guys.
was really mad. I was really upset.
I bet.
Yeah.
Not the thing to be taken to the state fair, I guess, or wherever you were. Hey, Robert, are you back? We need to get started. on
Yes,
critiques.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen again. Okay, can you see Lightroom?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Let's go, starting with this one. Just FYI, Jim did these his judging at like 3 o'clock in the morning, Thursday morning or Friday morning. So there are no comments from Jim this time. So it's gonna just be me and Robert. Thank you. Robert most.
And participation from the audience as well.
Yes, anybody can chime in. So unmute yourself and chime in if you want to say something about something here. Okay. Go ahead, Robert, on this one.
Yeah, no, that beautiful portrait. I wish that the background could come up a little bit more. You have some interesting things going on back there, and I'm not usually a fan of talking about backgrounds, but the emotions that's being emitted by this child and the darkness, the very brightness of their emotions and the darkness with the patterns in the background, I think they complement each other. So I think that if it could be just a little bit lighter in the background, you would be you'll be making all of my brain happy.
Any questions, Jim? Hagan?
No, actually, the background, I didn't know what to do with the background. She was actually my granddaughter. When I took her, she was standing on the back porch, and it was a horrible background. The background that I put in there, believe it or not, is a bunch of ice cubes, and so I just colored it blue, she's got blue eyes and blue pants and all that stuff. I was going to lighten it up a little bit, but then again, I thought, well,
Is that what
I
you were
didn't know.
Robert?
Yeah, I just a little bit less than that, but it was such an interesting pattern
Yeah.
behind her. I was wondering, wow, how did you get that with the juxtaposed with her with that look? I mean, did you cue her? Is she real? Or I mean, what?
No, she's definitely real. She was watching her father cut the grass.
Oh,
That's why I called it admiration.
That'll go away.
Okay.
all right. Next one is this one.
You know, Jack, I'm gonna ask.
Yes.
Where is the emotion other than a response?
They were just a happy group of guys, and I walked up and I said hello. They all turned to me. They all had smiles on their face. They were having a good time. They're just having a reunion in this lean-to in the middle of Nicaragua woods.
Right.
They weren't smiling at me. They were having a good time, and I thought this is a great group to get a picture of. That was that.
It's a great group to get a picture of. I agree. I don't find that there is any particular emotion coming from any particular person because it's countered by the other people, a couple of people not having those same emotions. Yes.
This guy's looking away. Yeah.
And then you also have a guy that's behind another guy that's somewhat offset the curiosity here.
I hear you, and I guess I'm dense. I'm missing the point. I see emotions. I see a bunch of happy guys. The other thing I see is the composition, the triangles that are all over the place. The three guys in the center are the main focus. Yes, there is a supporting cast in the background, which I kept rather blurred and toward the back. Yes, there are three guys back there, but they're, kind of supporting. But we have three guys. We have a triangle here and a triangle there, triangle spaces all over the place. I just, and then the heavy oven on the one side and the main subjects toward the left, kind of balancing each other out. I just thought it was a worthwhile photo in my gallery, but and to me it transmitted happiness. These guys in the middle of all that poverty in Nicaragua, they're just having a great time. Okay, and that's what it spoke to me, and that's what I was trying to transmit.
Okay, this is a really, really nice setting about what you described, meaning that you with that definition that the information you gave a narrative that makes sense. However, on the emotional side of it, I still stand by. I have counterbalance of what you said, meaning that I have these two guys that are countering that. And as far as the triangles are concerned, yes, compositionally, but emotionally, I'm not getting any one that's giving me any more than any other emotion.
Okay.
Now, before you can move on, then I want to bring out more about the emotion and Jack, I know that you're a little drugged, but I really want to push a point here. The point is, I want you to crop this image and take away the stuff that's on the right hand side, because all of those things are taken away from the emotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once I get pull that in. Once I get that, then I get more about the people as opposed to about that setting, all those things that you described.
I hear you. Well, yeah, that's a nice composition there. I accept that. Again, and I'm not being argumentative. I'm just telling you.
I don't feel
my
that.
My thinking. Here we live in a country of luxury, And to find a group of people that are having a good time like this, you'd have to go to a football game where I can't even afford the seats. Here these guys are, they have a wood burning stove. They're in a lean-to, they're in a shack, in a shambles, and they're just joyful. Wow, what a contrast. It just goes to show that happiness can exist worldwide, even in a poor little country like this, among poor people like this. And if you leave out the oven, then it doesn't tell that part of the story. But I hear what you're saying. It brings more the theme of the photograph. I understand that.
Let me be even more nitpicky about your narrative. I'd like for you to go to the guy who's sitting down, left-hand side, the left, right in the middle there. And I'm going to go down to his shoes and enlarge it. 200%. All right, what I'm getting at is from that, look at his watch, look at the watch on the guy on the other side.
Yeah.
All right, look at the shoes, look at the wood. This could be any place in Texas to me.
Yeah.
Well,
and see what I'm getting.
I don't see that at all, Robert. I don't see that at all. That doesn't look like Texas.
I don't see a single belt buckle.
Now, what I'm getting at, Jack, and everyone here, is that you, Jack, were there. You saw all of the emotions surrounding this particular place at that time.
Yeah.
I'm the receiver of that. And as far as your narrative is concerned, I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
Especially with that Coke bottle.
It's ubiquitous, universal.
Yes.
It's everywhere, and cell phones too. Even in the shacks, they have cell phones. Yeah, you don't see. They've got those in their pocket.
That's what that becomes. My point is that it becomes more of a portrait than an emotional deal.
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I have the same thing going on here. It's more of a portrait of the actual function that the person is designed to do, rather than emoting a particular emotion. Yeah. Meaning that this person is in character, so there's nothing to say that there's something emotional about it other than their actual character. Again, I'm saying these things. If you have any other thoughts about it, please challenge. I'm not the end all be all.
If there was a shark coming and she went, yeah, that would be emotion.
Yes.
Well, okay. All right, Robert. Robert, when I was looking for photos that had emotion in it, and I thought this is about as carefree as you can be. I don't know how else, that's what I looked at it as. I mean, as far as the photograph itself go, obviously wiki-watchy and all that, but I worked on it for a while. You shoot through glass and semi-dirty water and all that. I wish it was more in focus and all that, but as far as the emotion carefree goes, I don't know what else you could call that.
I have to admit, I wondered about the emotion in that one as well.
Well, then I missed the target.
She just got a smile on her face, because they always have a smile on their face. All right, moving on.
The author of this, I think, and I generally don't say this, but I think that they gave away the ending of the movie by labeling this what it's labeled. Anticipating a treat. With the hand gesture, the tongue out. I wish that the author had not said anticipating a treat, given it some other title, because this is a genuine emotional tug because of the hand and the tongue of the dog. They are both working in concert of each other.
Right. This is Rod's image. I would have called it just anticipation.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that was an option. I struggled with what to call this.
Yeah.
And then I saw the dogs tongue sticking out, and I thought, I think he's waiting for a treat.
Yeah.
So
Just
but
anticipation.
anticipation was an option for a title for it.
Yes. And the hand and the tongue at the same time is a strong, strong emotion, because when we hold out a hand to most dogs, it is a way of gesturing that we are friendly. And when a dog licks out his tongue the way he's doing or wags his tail, it's also an emotion to say that they are friendly as well.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah, this one was more a problem with it was a great image, just a problem with the title. And yes, guys, the titles are important. It needs to convey what your image is about, not, we're going to run into a couple more tonight that have titles that just don't fit. So yeah, think about your title, and it's hard. Believe me, I've been dinged in the past many times for the title that I picked. So think about it.
Well, I'll put
What
next time I'll put like slash.
What does it tell you?
Anticipating a treat / anticipation.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Fishing surprise. Here we go. I think she looks more like she's scared of the fish.
Yeah, but the fish looks good. With the same expression.
I think the fish looks like he's surprised. I don't understand that. I mean, the color on this one is a little weird. I'm not sure if it's just because she's very orange. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can make it a little better.
Well, she was very tan.
Yeah, but she's just very. I mean, let's see if I can do.
Bring down the red a little bit.
No, that's not going to help either. Yeah, it's just. I know it's hard when the sun is that bright, and you've got somebody that is a little tanned. Robert, any suggestions?
As far as the coloring,
Yeah.
I don't think that's all that important.
Yeah.
As the emotions coming from the mouth, how they're matched. I think that the image itself, considering the time of day that it was shot, the way it was shot, the light coming in, it could have been a better lit, better time of day, but we can't always control that. So I think the emotion itself has much more impact than as far as the coloring. You can always turn this to a black and white or a dual tone or something like that, and that would actually make it a little stronger.
Yeah, because the color's kind of getting in your way.
Right, it is.
Yeah. When you can't get the color right, Rod, turn it black and white.
Yeah, or some kind of dual tone. In this case, if you were to go down to your what do you call it? That one right there, and put a little bit of coolness in the shadows, just a tiny bit of coolness in the shadows, and a little bit of warmth in the highlights, then that would give it some sort of toning.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you do that, something like a selenium, a sepia, not even sepia, but a selenium would actually do it. But the impact is there, Rod. Is that yours, Rod?
Yes.
Okay, the impact is there.
Yeah,
and that was a split-second shot. She was cleaning fish. She turned around. Right. I had the camera taking pictures of her cleaning fish. And
Rod, I'm going to tell you something. At 1/2000th of a second, you're right. It was a split second of a shot.
Yeah. Just when you're post-processing, just be mindful if the colors are overwhelming your image, get rid of the color.
Mm-hmm.
So, like on this one. This one's Chuck's. So they're getting all twisted up in the dogs. The only thing I had with this is it's a little bit, it seems it's very blown out. So I'm not sure if, again, I think it was shot at, you can see how bright the lighting is on their skin. It's kind of hard to fix that without making it look weird. But yeah, again, it's a really interesting, bunch of activity going on here. Robert?
And I agree. And there's lots of response emotionally from the dogs being in the water, being pulled away. The look of the dog on the left-hand side, the look of the dog on the right-hand side as he's exiting, and the one person having fun and the other person seemed to be entangled in chaos. Yeah, you got a lot of emotion going on here on all parts.
Yeah.
This one's Chuck's.
This one's
And-
Chuck's as well.
And the problem with this shot is that there's no context for it. The child is very, very happy. The mother seems to be sad. And I know the title is giving me all the information, but the photograph itself is not giving me nearly as much as the title is giving me.
Well, if the kid was looking at this little thingy here,
Yeah,
then it would look like, she was happy because of the little critter. It looks like a little pig. But she's looking off into the, probably at the photographer. And so it makes it kind of like disjointed to me.
yeah, the back and the mother and the child and the item in the front, all three are not coming together.
Mother's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get more of prayer or something that she is troubled with, rather than what was described in the title. I'm not sure if this lady is in the moment, or she's feeling it, or whatever she's doing, but the guy is loving it. Sylvia,
Yes.
Yes.
talk to me on this one.
Well, it's there. She's singing, and and probably it's a jazz. It was a jazz group, and she was in the middle of song, and he's accompanying her on bass. And I just thought even though her eyes are closed in that particular moment, the connection was,
Oh, the eyes are the part that makes the shot.
her eyes are closed, yeah.
Right.
And I loved his expression, how he's kind of peeking over his glasses at her.
Right.
She probably was scatting, and he was, just watching her to follow her, but anyway.
Yeah, you process the black and white processing is very, very nice on this one.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask Karen to chime in if you can, Karen.
Yes, I love this. It's Shania Carroll and John Lamb, and it's a great shot.
This was at the side door at the Palladium. It's a little bit older shot, and I had never actually tried to do it. And of course, there's a whole audience there, so I can't be in front of people, and I'm trying to. And the lighting is kind of an issue. So that's why I decided to make it black and white, because the lighting made it somewhat difficult. But
I love her facial expression.
I love this one as soon as it was pulled up. I think this is excellent.
Okay. I do want to do a slight bit of education here, if I may, please.
Yes,
Please allow me to. There are certain things about people that bug people. They'll say something, they'll do something. And in fact, when my wife eats popcorn, after she eats popcorn, she does this every time, and it just bugs that hell out of me. But I can't say anything to her because she's in her world. So let me tell you where I'm going with this. When people say that the lighting was awful, and you reduce it down to black and white, you're seeing the lighting, and the lighting is not awful. The color of the light was awful.
yeah,
But your lighting itself is very nice.
well, that's what I meant. I think within color, the colors seemed more harsh, but yeah, the light coming from behind her, or the spot on her, I did like the lighting.
Right. That's why I just want to point out something like in that last shot on the with the fish, the colors were awful. But once we reduced it down and took away the color, then the lighting was not as bad as once thought. And when I was making the comment about the later in the afternoon and all that, that would give a more colorful, emotional aspect to the shot. But in this case, this warrants a black and white.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
think
the
it
color would
gives
have
it,
made it.
I think it gives it that old timey feel too.
And do you see what the only thing I like this backlighting, Sylvia?
Yes.
I just accentuated it just a little bit. So that
What
it
did
looks like a
what
suit.
did you do to
I
that?
just basically, brought up the shadows a little bit and reduced the blacks. And you could do this more specifically around him, but I just thought
Right,
he needed to be separated out just a little bit.
I got you. Yeah. Okay.
I gotta say, I'm impressed, Sylvia, at how well this shot came out. And you were holding this at 1/100th of a second. That's impressive, the sharpness in the picture and the composition with the curl of the base up in the corner. It's a great composition. It's sharp. It's well done. And yet you were in a tough situation with the lighting and with having to shoot at such a slow speed. Impressive.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you.
Anything else, Robert?
No, it's got it for me.
All right, next one.
Jack,
It's me again.
please preserve this photograph.
Oh, I have. This one gets framed.
Oh, preserve this, because on the wedding day, you will pull it back out.
Yeah. I almost called this one the kiss and the spurned lover.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's the contrast, and I've got several of this. I took a rapid sequence, and this girl gets the biggest frown on her face, like I think she had intentions on my grandson. And that, by the
Yes.
way, is a boy in the middle. That's my grandson with long
Yes.
hair, and the girl on the left side of the photo planning a good birthday kiss on him. I thought the contrast was so amusing. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, a few years from now.
So when we talk about emotions and projecting those emotions, you've given me context. First of all, it's a party. I see it with the hats on there. I get a kiss and I go, okay, the kiss alone is nothing until you put the person on the right-hand side who's ambivalent to it. Oh, that play against each other is another emotion. So then the
That's all
surprise.
looking at you. That's the other cool thing is all three of them are looking right at you. So
Yeah.
And that surprise look of the subject, your grandson,
Yeah.
the subject, that completes it. So it's all together, several different, if I may, Jack, say triangles that work.
And the cones on their head. Don't forget the cones on their heads.
Those are triangles. I'm saying several different triangles that work.
Okay.
my only little thing is get rid of this little white spot right here, bugging me.
Oh, okay, Lynn. Yeah, I put a little vignette. Didn't want to do too much there. Thank you. Thank you.
Just get rid of that little spot right there because
Yeah.
it kind of pulls my eye right over to the edge, and I don't want it to go there.
Okay. Thank you.
This one is Karen.
Karen, you crop this tightly on the left-hand side. Tell me why.
Because I felt like there was a lot of other information. There wasn't anything more on the child, and it didn't add any value because I wanted you to look at the mother.
Okay. Then take away a little bit off the right-hand side then.
Okay.
Yes. Because that edge gave me another person.
Yes. And when I played with that and I saw just like how now you see her arm and her shoulder, then I went back out. So,
All right. And also come down from the top just a little bit.
okay.
I only point that out is because there's a lot of things happening in that background I don't need.
Yes.
There you go. I want to see more of the child and the mother rather than the people around them.
Mhm.
Marty.
Little overexposed too. Again, it might just be the monitors.
Yeah, I think so, because it's coming out quite nicely on my end. Yeah, slightly. You're right. It's slightly overexposed. This is Lee's.
Yep.
Yep.
Lee, I don't have context on this. A person pointing at a picture and happy about the picture. What's going on?
This was a help portrait event. She was just really happy about the photo.
And how did she get this photograph?
I took it.
Oh, you gave her this photograph.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what's the title of this?
Ecstatic.
Okay. You gave her a photograph
Of
And
herself.
for
And she
herself.
loved it. Yes.
I would admit, I would really change the title of this.
To what?
I don't know what.
I told you. I told you.
You did, I know. I couldn't come up with anything better though.
Well, Len, what did you tell him?
I told him that wasn't a good title.
Okay. Yeah, it's not drawing me in. It's not leading me, and I don't understand ecstatic in this. I see a picture of a person holding a picture.
Of
And
herself.
yeah, but there's no
She was
context.
happy about the photo
The photo that you gave,
that I gave her, that
All
I
right.
took up and gave her.
and something like receiving a photograph that I gave.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
it's
I struggle
me,
with the title.
exclamation point. Mhm.
Say again.
It's me, exclamation point.
Like that, yeah.
But
Well,
it's
you know what I guess isn't being conveyed, and you would have had to have been there, because she had on her phone a picture from last year, and she really likes getting those photographs. She showed us the one from last year, but she really liked this one. Everybody did.
right.
And so she, in all honesty, she was ecstatic, but
Yes, but
Maybe you-
again, I'm not there. There's a phone in her hand. That's a piece of information to me. And again, I'm seeing this for the first time. So I'm trying to marry the phone, the facial expression, and the photograph.
well, that's why.
Yeah.
You're thinking too much.
Well, I don't necessarily say that thinking too much. Here's what happens. None of us are here to judge, and this picture comes across on a page. We go to the next photograph. Isn't it enough?
I just came up with a title. I can't believe this is me.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree. The title could have been better.
Yeah.
I struggle with it.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I was trying to make my title part of the emotion. So anyway.
I understand. Karen,
Yes.
you have anything on further on the left-hand side? I think this is cropped a little tightly on the left.
Okay. All right.
I don't have any breathing room for this.
Okay.
In fact, go back in. Okay, let's recrop this just for the sake of argument, just to recrop this. Pull it down from the top. Leave the bottom. Pull it down from the top. Come down just above his hair. Come up to where his fingers are. Down just below his fingers. Okay. I don't know the context in this thing, but I have a better sense of emotion of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much better sense.
Yeah. Yeah, this is much more, feels like more in the zone than having all that other stuff in there.
Okay.
Is Jim still here? Or did he leave?
No, he left.
He left. All right. I want to know, and I want to know this from Alan. What am I going to say about, it's about composition. What am I going to say about this photograph compositionally?
Well, I think that there's probably too much at the top. We're not capturing the emotion of the girl. We got to get closer to her from all sides.
That's not what I was going to say. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can. And what you make, Alan, is a good argument. And you would be well within your creative eye to mention that. Hold on 1 second. I was going to say, take some off the left-hand side so that that wall, I'm sorry, right-hand side, right-hand side. So that wall, there you go, come up just to that part where the water, come a tiny bit more. Yeah, and come back down to it so you see the orange. Okay, that's part of the reflection. And so now, without that edge of that piece there, compositionally, all of those lines are pointing down to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually pointing up.
Yes.
Everything is pointing in her direction.
That's correct. Now, in another 18 years from now, you'll be like me.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Alan.
Oh, you're welcome, everyone.
I need some help with this. Someone said fight club or
Yeah, that I was going to ask about that one.
Yeah, it's a guy who is at an MMA gym and he's excited about what's happening on the mat. That's why I
so
like.
he's watching.
Yeah, you can see it's the outside
Okay.
of the cage. He's like looking in.
Okay, okay.
The color of the light was trash, which is why it's black and white, and it's also all behind him, and so I went with it pretty dark to kind of just make him sit in that darkness a bit, and his eye has like that little catch light in it, so I kept it dark just to kind of make it more, I don't know, not just more dark, honestly. So
The reason I was going to ask it, I didn't even think of him being a spectator. That didn't even cross my mind. So now I get it. Because I was thinking smiling and you're getting beat up. Okay.
no, he's watching
Yeah,
the guy.
I got it now.
This
I'm
whole
sorry.
area is just too dark. We need a little bit of definition here. Even it doesn't have to be a lot, but just so we don't see it, just a big hole of blackness there. Robert?
Well, I'm still wondering, as far as your narration about what it is, I once again don't have context. This is one of those images that would serve well as a triptych, meaning one of three that shows what's actually happening in another photograph, if I can put that forth. This is a wonderful portrait of this person.
So we were doing portraits that day. He wants me to do portraits of him fighting at the gym, but the gym is like really, really badly lit. And I was explaining to him that we needed to like bring real lights in because he wants to like kick and hit things. And I can't do that with like a 60 shutter speed with f 1.4. It's just not gonna do what he wants.
Yeah.
So I was demonstrating like what we could do. And frankly, I thought he looked a little evil in this shot. That's why I kind of like.
In this shot here, with the lenses put forth, he looks evil.
No, I wasn't using that. I was just explaining like for what he wanted, it wasn't going to work with like he wanted to do like action shots of him fighting, which was going to take pretty high shutter speeds and flash. And it just, if you saw the gym, it wouldn't work. And all the mats are red and black. So we were going to get this awful cast all over everything. This was like an education for him and like what I thought was possible. So.
Okay. But as far as the motion is concerned, this is a much more portrayal of emotion as a portrait without me knowing anything about what he's looking at than what you had in there that was very dark, which was describing something that an assignment that you were doing that was separate from the emotional aspect of it. You covered the emotional portion of this by making everything dark, by opening everything up. That smile, that catch light in the eye, the look and the gauge, that whatever that corrugated deal or fencing is on that side has much more context without you having to explain anything in this form over what was had that initially when you presented it.
Yeah, it was just way too dark. So. We good? Moving on?
Yes.
Okay, let me have it.
Well,
Where's your motion?
that's the I see the hands out.
Yeah.
And I see the line, both lines going in the same direction. I think this is a very real graphic representation of more like a Leaf Freelander type of deal.
Looks like a dolly to me.
Yeah, but you have, and I see the front.
Oh my
There
God,
seem to be
this is awesome.
there seemed to be some sort of funness about this of replication, but I don't have any strong emotion coming from it, rather than the more so the beauty and the graphics.
Okay. Good with me.
Yeah.
It's that kind of selfie.
Lynn,
Yeah.
Lynn, I'm serious. This thing could be a dolly. This is great.
Yeah, I do not take away from that portion of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we all know what this is saying, and I think it's there's not much to be said about this.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I think I would do is maybe
Open that up just a little bit.
open up those eyes just a little bit, Steve.
Yeah.
A little dark. Other than that, great.
Whose shot is this?
Steve.
Steve.
This is me.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
Yes.
Tom. I'm sorry. It's Tom's. I'm sorry.
Tom, talk to me about this shot.
So it's the Tampa Bay Zoo, which, as you all know, recently increased their prices. And I like to just go there and watch the animals. I was with my sister-in-law, and I think the orangutan exhibit's just kind of like really well set up. And so I spent some time just hanging out because one of the moms was sitting there with her kid, and I think this is a 500 maybe, or a 300. So it's a 300. So it's a pretty tight lens, but the backgrounds are terrible. And so I took part of the background and I used it to keep like this negative space over here. I used it to get rid of some of the just stuff back there. I just copied that background all over it. And I looked for images where the mom was kind of like just snuggling her kid and keeping an eye on it. And I have a book by a photographer where he focuses on Tim Flatch. He focuses on like where animals their body parts and like it's like an almost human kind of thing. And I went there looking for that. So I was looking for like an almost human emotion.
Let me caution you on something here. Your shutter speed was 1/200th of a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Your lens is a 300 millimeter lens. What is the actual focal length of that? The total focal length of that lens? Tom?
You're
You're
muted, Tom.
Oh, I just muted myself. I'm on a full frame camera, so there's no,
No, what's the actual, is it a 300 mm lens is what I'm asking?
yeah, it's a 302.8. And
302.8.
I
All
do,
right.
I used to do a lot of rifle shooting. And
Yes.
so it carries over. And so I push the shutter speed quite a bit down.
Okay, and tell me why.
Trying to keep the ISO low. I like it
Why?
because I'm one of these horrible pixel peepers. I like to really look at the details.
Tom,
Why I
Tom,
do it.
while you're in this, in a part of anything that I'm involved with, forget the pixel deal. When it's printed, you will never see it.
Yeah.
You
I
will
know.
never see it at
Yeah.
140 ISO. This thing can go up to 1,000, and you would not be losing one piece of detail in this.
My wife's laughing at me because she agrees.
I shoot,
I-
I shoot almost all animals at least 1/2000th of a second. And I don't care about the ISO, and because if I have to, I can go and use Topaz denoise and it fixes it.
Right. Absolutely.
And
So
that,
I
what I'm
want,
trying to do is stop all motion, because you've got some motion right here.
yes,
And you got motion here. You're lucky. I mean, this is this is in focus right here. I mean, luckily, but there's a lot of motion going on here. If you were at 1/2000th or 160 or 1,600th, you would have virtually no motion on these animals. I don't shoot my animals ever below, I try to keep it at 1/2000th. Sometimes I even go faster. So.
I have a question about that hand on the left-hand side. Whose hand is that?
Looks like there's another kid on top.
I think it's I think that's, I'm actually,
teenager, right?
Yeah.
no, there was only two there. So
Oh.
I think, I think with the thing that looks like a hand in his mouth, I think is actually his foot.
No, this is.
Yeah, but I can't, I mean, I just can't see how that could be his hand.
wrapped around
that could be
the
his left
shoulder,
hand.
it could be his hand.
You're
That's
right,
his left
Ken. You have
hand.
long arms.
He's like doing this.
Yeah, he's like this.
He's doing
He's
what?
chewing on his, he's like doing this and chewing on his foot.
Yeah. So I just want you to, when you shot film, and I'm sure you shot film at one point, you didn't pixel peep.
Nope. Yep.
So if
I
I was
didn't
your
shoot as
wife,
much film as I wanted to because I was a broke high schooler. So
well, I'm gonna tell your wife to slap you and kiss you at the same time.
There you go.
Yeah, except we had to take the old film out and put another roll in. You couldn't hardly make out anyway at the high ISOs.
Oh, absolutely.
That's true. All
All
right,
right.
moving on. This is Jim McWilliam.
Yeah, it's
Very pixelated.
yeah, this is pixelated and not sharp to start with.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not in focus to start with. So if it was in focus, it would be a lot less pixelated.
Yeah.
And when you say that, okay, wait a minute, Robert, you can't say pixelated and focus. Well, focus, when you're not in focus, what you see are mostly pixels. When you're in focus, you see sharpness. So the emotion is there. The technical aspect of it is lacking.
Yeah. Fong. Fong, there's
Yes.
no anger here at all.
None.
This in the Universal Studio is called Mardi Grace. The big picture, I cannot find the motion. I just cut one piece. Yes.
He's
Well, next time you see this guy, flip him a bird and you'll get some emotion.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically just, acting and, using his mouth to, say, oh, so.
I don't know what is this story, but this.
No.
Hmm.
Doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah, we're not there. Now here we have a slight focus problem.
Yeah.
And this is Sherry.
Yes.
Sherry, you got a slight focus problem here. You see where it is?
It's like it's right here.
Well, the focus, if you look at the top of the headphones,
Yeah, it's pretty focused up here.
Right, that looks pretty sharp. You look down at the iPad or that's sharp, but the face itself is soft.
That's because this and this are on the same plane.
Yes. So when you do that, I lose sight of the emotion because of where the focus point is.
Okay.
Is that making any sense, Sherry?
Yes.
So should have been focused right here on her face. So it's just, let's see, there's no information on here, so I can't tell you where, if you had, what f-stop you were using. Because it looks like the information's been stripped out, but yeah, if it was a very shallow depth of field, then yeah, I mean, just a matter of an inch will put her out of focus.
Okay.
And it was a little overexposed. Again, it might just be the monitor on this side.
It's a little over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried playing with the lighting. I wanted the glow in her face.
Yeah.
And that, well, I'm gonna, it's gonna sound harsh what I'm about to say, Sherry, but I don't mean it. I do mean it with a lot of love. You, instead of playing with the lighting, play with the exposure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even, let's see.
And what I mean by that is that,
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we're down to the nuts and bolts now. When you eliminate all of the other things around it, now we have just light, and how we deal with that light is through exposure.
Yeah,
I like that better. Yeah.
It's a little at a weird angle here because of the juice box, but all this stuff behind her is very distracting as well, even though it's darker.
Yeah.
You just have to watch for that kind of stuff. I mean, it's it's one of those things, the more you shoot, the more you'll notice it.
Now I want to get to the next one. Whose shot is this?
It's mine.
Sherry, this is your shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Lamb, go back to the shot before it. Sherry.
Yes.
I welcome you, but don't bring me this anymore.
Bring me this.
Bring me this.
He loves to be silly. I don't know.
Well, there's a place in galleries for this.
Yeah, this was cool.
Very cool.
It's like soap flying, I think. I don't know what that is, but
it goes all over.
Well, the emotion is there.
He still has his tonsils.
Everything about this says be happy.
Yep.
And be free.
When I saw that, I thought, man, oh man, that'd make a good advertisement.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I just hope he doesn't get soap in his eyes.
Maybe it's that no cry soap.
No cry soap.
Is this a boy?
Yes.
Oh, it won't matter if he gets soap in his eye. We don't care.
We don't care. You just have to be silly.
Yeah.
Very pensive on this cat. I'm not a cat reader, and I know cats are, they're really hard to read. So help me out with this. Tell me the emotion on this one.
We were feeding the cat. It's a neighbor's cat, a friend's cat, and had a long time. We spent about 45 to an hour with the cat, and it just was very aloof the whole time. And finally, after eating, it was very happy and kind of warmed up to us and went on top and started scratching the chair. And so I'm not sure that contentment or happiness is conveyed in this picture, though.
Thank you for saying that out loud.
Yeah, it's just sort of it's a great portrait, but yeah, he just.
Yeah, this was a case of looking to something to fit the topic, and when I submitted it, I knew that it probably wasn't.
He was going like this.
Yeah.
You'd have emotion.
Yeah, I needed to say or do something.
Yeah.
Hey, that is cat happiness right there. It doesn't get any more joyous than that.
But I don't think content, to be honest with you, is an emotion. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing that as in the list.
I think content is an emotion.
I think content is an emotion. Okay.
I
Yeah,
think so.
It was also, again, a little bit overexposed, Barry, and it needed some contrast. Because then you've got this great light over here on this side of him from the window, obviously, and a little, I just darkened it up just a little bit to just give
Okay.
it a little slightly different look. So anyway, on to the next one. We got a lot more to do here. Great shot of an osprey. I'm not sure that, again, it's not giving us much in the way of emotion, just a little overexposed. Yeah, it's just.
Is this Barry shot?
This is
Yes.
Barry's as well, yeah.
Yeah, this is extremely early morning light. It was just sunrise and it was really difficult to balance and get the shot right.
And it's hard with birds this time of the day, especially with white birds that have dark feathers.
Yep. I mean, the feathers were almost black. I think I
Yeah.
overdid it with lighting them.
No, it's actually on the osprey, they're more brown-ish on the bottom.
Okay.
Actually, it's a good shot, except for the fact that it just really doesn't, I mean, I know what you're going for, but it's really not showing in them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was successful.
Yeah. Robert?
Yeah, I agree. I don't have context in this.
Yeah. Yeah, this one just doesn't fit the bill either. So, okay, on to general. All right, we need to move it along, Robert.
All right, no problem. The stare in this thing is of this guy. Okay, Jack,
Yep, that's Jack's.
Jack, where is this?
This is also in Nicaragua.
This portrays exactly what you said earlier. I feel that the country, I feel the difference of a culture in this photograph.
Oh, you saw his shoes?
Yeah, I almost feel like there's more. I the emotion in this one to me is more intense than with those other guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He wasn't too happy to get his picture taken.
Right. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, it's kind of a scornful look, which
Yeah.
to me is much more impactful emotion in more emotive than the other guys.
Absolutely. You just need to swap these around, Jack. Put the other one in the general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's, as a matter of fact, this is one of the ones I had pulled out for possible emotions, but I kind of liked the other one better, so I put this one in general. It was a toss up.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna beat you up because you're on drugs, but tell Lori that. Lori
It's okay, you
slap-
can't hurt me tonight.
He's happy about everything.
Toss away.
Oh, this image is very intense, Jack.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
One thing I did want to say, I think it's just a little bit heavy on the vignette.
On the vignette, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the corners there.
Yeah, you want the vignette to be there, but not to be super obvious, and it's very
Yeah.
obvious on this one.
Yeah, thank you. I accept that. Yeah.
This one belongs to Steve. Is that right?
Steve's, yeah.
Is he here?
He was earlier. I don't know if he still is.
Steve, if you are, I just need a little bit more on the right-hand side. This composition is a little blocked for me. A little more information on the right-hand side would actually open that edge up. Yeah, it's a sudden stop.
Yeah, we know there's a little bit more beach or more rocks here because we've been here. So.
Right. Right. So
Let me ask a question. Would it have made a difference if there was less bottom? In other words, bring it up about 1/3 up or so. Would that have made the difference? I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Would that have made a difference?
it's still blocked off on the right-hand side
Okay. All right.
because of the balance of the left and that those rocks. I have a sudden stop.
You're like, can't go any further. Unless you hop over here and then hop over there and then hop over here.
Mhm.
All right.
I wish Chuck was here. I would tell him this is a beautiful, beautiful rendition of human versus animal, but take the tree out on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. It's just disturbing the heck out of me. Now those branches are actually working for you now. Thank you.
What is this animal name?
Robert?
Robert when he had a tail.
Woo, fun.
I don't even, it is some sort of primate. I have no idea what it is. So yeah, it needed a little bit of contrast too. It was a little flat. But yeah, it's a cool picture. Garrett's not here tonight. He's not feeling well, so he decided not to come in. But yeah, this one's kind of like, I'm not sure what he was trying to do with this.
He's lost a lot of detail in all of it.
Yeah, it's totally blown out here and there. So interesting bridge, but
Its composition is actually quite strong.
yeah.
His
I mean,
treatment is
and
a little
the
off.
whites are blown out. I mean, they are totally blown out because you can't bring them back. So
Yeah, so that's that is a problem there. This shot is shot often. I love the fact that he decided to treat it in black and white as
Yeah.
opposed to a color. But you're gonna need, if you're gonna do black and white, you gotta maintain the details and the highlights and the shadows.
Yep.
Steve again.
yeah,
Lynn, I'll leave this one to you. And tell me, Lynn, why are you gonna do that?
because the branch, if you're going to leave all that branch, which it's kind of hard to get rid of it because of the angle that he's on, but it's the same basically without that. It's the same, basically the same color or same luminance as the bird, and you want to make it darker so that you don't see the branch, you only see the bird. So I would
And-
darken it a little bit, and then oops, I turned it off. That's too much. And maybe make it a little less blue and make it yellow so it matches the background a little bit. And that way you've got you're looking more at the bird than not at the branch.
When your edges are as light as your input, then that means that you're pulling me out of the frame.
Right.
Okay, I want to address this shot. Oh, whose shot is this? Jan, this is yours.
Yes, sir.
Here you made me extremely happy and then pissed me off at the same time.
Okay.
I was thrown off by the title.
Yeah, the title, this is one of those ones, Jan, where you got to think about your title. We don't care about where you took it, unless the subject or, that's important. That we don't care that it was a botanical garden. This thing could have so many cool titles.
So I've actually, as I've been listening to you guys talking about titles, so I would call this Up, Up and Away.
Very good. Perfect.
Great, love it. But here is where you've intrigued me and made me very happy. The lines that are leading in there like a rope from the bottom end, just composed beautifully. The problem is you gave me an extra line.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You don't like that.
I don't need that. It's not a matter of like. I don't need it.
Okay.
Let me explain to you why.
Mhm.
As a German guy said, let me explain you why. There you go. That's as they say in German. Follow that line. All right, now the line from the bottom, just quickly follow the lines, and the lines go up, and it now takes me to that leaf. That leaf is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another line that takes me out of the photograph.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially the straight lines are obviously taking you out, but that's a curved line. And that's, you know, these are okay because of the angles that they're at, but this one is like, boop,
Oh my
stuck
God.
up there. Yeah. And
Got
I did increase the contrast. I got rid of the highlights. It was a little overblown on the edges here, and that's something that's hard to do. It's hard to get all the lighting right on a plant like this, because believe me, I do these all the time. And I just increased again, it was a little flat. So
Okay.
if you go back, it just adds a little bit of contrast, and it also
Okay.
makes this leaf a little more contrasty as well, if, you know, doing it on a general basis. So,
Okay,
you know, this
cool,
was
thanks.
a good shot. Just, you know, think about those titles and look about where does your eye go, and then what stops your eye or what takes you out.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, wow. And then
Yeah.
I'm going, no.
Yeah.
I'm going, I met you and I liked you. And then you do this to me.
Yep.
I'm so,
All
all right,
right.
thanks.
It's what is with Brian in these dark shadows?
I have no idea. Brian doesn't like me.
And a little, I see, just a little brighter in the yellow. I mean, it's just a little too blue.
And also give me some vibrance or saturation, either one of those. Give me just a little bit. So to make those things just a little bit more umphy. Brian.
No.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Now, you know, I would do it selectively if given the deal. I'm just wondering, why is it that on the shot on the left-hand side is very moody for no reason? You got all this beauty going on, and yet you isolate it by darkening and drabbing it down. Brian, the club, the camera club is in your life. Brian, I am in your life. Open up and make things brighter.
Okay.
Yep. You need a little less.
But
dark.
I want to be careful on shots like this too, because I don't want it to be overly, you know, the colors so vivid that they seem unnatural.
Now I get it. As I mentioned, I said in my when doing this, I would do it selectively. But I'm giving you not the colors that it seems so unnatural. The fact that you just darken everything down and make it dull.
Well, how do you
You're
know I
in your life,
darkened it? How do you
Brian.
know I didn't just I just failed to brighten it.
You know, no, we are in your life, Brian. So lighten up.
Lighten up.
Lighten up.
I have a question too. I'm wondering about what is the difference between saturation and vibrance, and when and why would you use one versus the other?
Vibrance only increases colors that are not normally bright. Right?
Keep
Would
going.
normally be bright. Like, see, it goes up, the oranges go up and the reds go up as I go up. Saturation increases all the colors.
No bounds.
No bounds. So yeah, vibrance is just, it basically opens up colors that need to be bright.
Okay, thank you.
I kind of look at them as a little bit of a touch with the vibrance and then a sledgehammer with the saturation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just saturation just does a
It just
massive
affects
job.
everything. See, if you took
Yeah.
that's saturation all the way up. That's vibrance all the way up. It's totally different. So
yeah,
I'll tell you a little workflow that I do. Just a quick deal. When I look at a photograph that's colorful, the first thing I do is I run the saturation all the way up. Go ahead and run the saturation all the way up. What colors are coming through in this one? The oranges I really like in this, and the reds I really like. So if I said, okay, I don't like the blues up and I don't like certain things, I would then take a brush, take the saturation back down to 0 saturation, and then take a brush, and with that brush run the saturation up and just paint in those values. And now the greens, and that's what I mean by selectively, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Is there
And
an
so
option
now-
in Lightroom to increase the saturation of individual colors? I know DxO has that,
Yeah, you can
and
do
I
it.
use that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that as well. But in this particular case, where there are a lot of those colors are melting together in Lightroom, and Lightroom is the thing that we're doing right now, you can do the same thing that way as well.
Yeah, you can
So-
do it through the HSL panel.
But that does it globally.
Right, right.
Whereas when I paint it on, I paint it in certain areas and not in others. And you see how those reds are now coming up, Brian.
Yep.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Brian, we do love you here.
See, now you just messed up the sky though, and the
I
light.
know.
No, we
I got
didn't do
carried
it.
away.
You asking her to be precise when you didn't even do it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Whatever. All right.
We
On
love
the
him
next one.
more than he loves us. Okay, on this particular shot, Brian, I'm being very serious right now. Is that this is a golf course in Tampa, Florida?
Well, it's not.
I know, but that's what it looks like.
Looks like.
Got a hill in the back.
So what are you saying? It was a poor choice, period?
Now, let's take a look at what you want to say about the mountains in the background. You've already put trees in there to cut off the view of those mountains. So that gives you the setting of the Blue Ridge Mountains, but there's nothing about the Blue Ridge Mountains that is being told here.
So the title's bad?
You should have
No,
walked
the-
over here. Took the shot.
Yes. Over there, right now, you're on a golf course.
Over here on the other side of the grass and just taking a picture of the sunset over the mountains.
Well, just remember this shot because you're gonna see another shot later in the year taken to the right of this.
Okay, I will remember.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, so wait, but so what if it's a golf course shot? Is it bad because of that?
No, the title, and the title, if you said sunset on the golf course, it would have been more apropos.
Okay, but it's not a golf course, just so you know.
I know, but what I'm saying is if you had said that, I would have bought it.
Okay.
Or sunset over the farm.
Okay.
See,
You
when I
said-
think of Blue Ridge Parkway,
Yes.
Brian, I'm thinking of mountains and looking at a sunset where there's mountains in the background and you've got the mountains, they're just too far away.
Okay.
Lee,
Yes, sir.
hurt me, man. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's in the wrong category.
Yep.
This is 100% emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good one.
However, this one is contrived. So, okay, what do I mean by that? This person who's planted on the ground, who's got their arm up above, grabbing the sun, is I need more done to it. Let's say that this person was jumping in the air to grab the sun, and that light then was broken away from the shadow that's hitting the ground, and the feet are separated. You would have a much stronger shot.
Okay.
I'm not telling you how to shoot. I'm just saying the shot is weak compared to what you had just prior to. And without comparing it, it's still weak. So you got all the lines there. You got all of the elements that are in place to do something. And the outfit and the reach does not, they don't come together.
Okay.
Now, challenge me on that. Tell me something that I'm not seeing.
I just thought it was a good shot. We were having
Yeah,
fun.
I'm not saying it's not a good shot. That's not what I'm saying. It is a good shot. It is a shot, the good shot that didn't go far enough.
Okay.
Go back one shot. Go back one shot. Same shot. Let's say she's got her foot in, that foot is in the back, and her hands are down by her side.
Yeah, no, it's much stronger that she's doing something. Yeah.
Right. Now we go to the shot next to it. And that's what I mean by say, let's just say hypothetically, they jumped in the air to try to capture the sun. That
Right, it would be
that
stronger.
that energy would be stronger.
True. Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Sorry,
Is this
which was the guy that did the shot that we were just talking about?
Lee,
Yeah.
the beauty guy down at the bottom.
So I guess my question about that shot is like, I felt like the shot when I looked at it was about the pillars and the shadows, and it was less about, you know, the person and more about, like, to
More
me,
about
she
the
looked like
lines.
an additional like an additional support beam, and then you look closely and you realize it's a person, and then her shadow to me was a big part of what I thought, you know, what stood out to me about this shot. So I guess I wasn't looking for emotion in it. I really liked how I was surprised that it was a person and not a pillar. And it was more interesting than just a bridge, you know, the bottom part of a bridge, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to play with the lines leading in, all the pillars. She fit in between the pillars and the different element of the sun beaming through, so. And the
You
shadow.
achieved all of that. You
But
did.
you're right.
I-
Had she been doing something else, it would have been stronger.
All right, here's what I want you to do, Lynn. Put your cursor right on the foot part of right above the foot. Click on that to enlarge it.
If her
Are
feet
you
had
seeing
been
the
apart, if her feet had been apart.
You
it
see
would be
that?
Different.
Right.
There's too much
Something.
divergence here.
And you see the pant leg on one side is different than the pant leg on the other side.
So yeah, messes up with your symmetry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Just yeah, this is the problem spot right here.
That's it.
Being picky.
Yeah.
All right, we good?
Sometimes you're just shooting in the moment, you get what you get. So
Yep.
yeah, I get it.
Apparently, when you guys shoot in the moment, you don't have me in your head enough. I need to be in your head.
I have a few of these, and you were in my head. That's why I didn't use them.
I like this shot, but I did notice that the bottom of it, and again, I'm talking about that previous one, I see some obvious cloning because I see repeated patterns in it.
Oh yeah, I was trying to pull some stuff out of the sand there. So
Yeah, I do that sometimes, but then when you see a duplicated pattern, I just do a little more cloning to kind of just make it look more random.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some definite splotches here. Now we can get to this one.
Is this you, Sylvia?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna Sylvia,
Yeah.
you're about to get it.
Okay. Put my armor on.
Yes. Okay.
You're gonna crop it all the way over. Yeah, I know.
And why am I doing that?
Well, because I went through this a bit. All of that over there is probably takes away from the actual lily itself, and that probably doesn't add anything to the photo.
Yeah,
The symmetry is.
Well, you got a couple of different pictures going on here.
Yeah,
One, I mean, it's not a strong one, but that's a different picture.
Right.
And you've got this one over here, which is a stronger picture, like right
Right.
there.
I agree. Yeah.
Robert?
You just did it. I'm glad that you lit into her instead of me.
Yeah, I like that picture right there.
Yeah, this bottom leaf is bugging me a little bit, so I'm not sure where I'd put that, but
yeah,
maybe right there, and then darken this leaf.
Yeah, the front streak through there.
Yeah, it's too bright right here.
Okay.
The reds are good, and they lead you through the picture. I mean, that's what's kind of cool about the red, you know, the backside or the underside of the leaf. Yeah, but this one's just too dark or too bright.
Right there. Okay, thank you.
Oops, reset. And Jan, here's a perfect example of the title making the picture. Good one, Sylvia.
What's the title? What was the title?
She stood out in the crowd.
Yeah, that's good.
That was one of my Lynn's baby shots that actually they always talk about. You almost don't have to do any processing, and and most of the time I have to do a little, but this one really truly was almost out of camera with hardly anything done to it at all. So.
And these guys, this particular kind of flower are really hard to get in focus because of all the parts. So having it sort of out of focus is probably the best way to do on this kind of flower.
Yeah, I was just trying to focus on that one.
The only thing I think I might do,
crop it a little more.
Just crop it in a little bit more.
Little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit more. Take it a little off center.
Okay.
Right now, she's right in the sort of smack in the middle.
Almost, yeah, you're right.
So kind of get her over on the side. That's a little stronger, I think. Maybe even bring a little up on the bottom. Robert?
I agree.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
Okay. All right.
Can I change the title for this one too?
Go ahead, change it.
All right, how about reach out and touch?
There you go.
Okay. Compositionally, what you've done is you've given both sides equal weight.
Mm-hmm.
And by giving both sides equal weight, it's almost like splitting the picture in half. Take off, in this case, take off the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take off the right-hand side, what you have is you have fingers going after life. Dark. I mean, it's more like a what do you call those things? Skeleton going after something that's about to die.
Okay.
And it becomes much more prominent rather than having both equal. So you have more of a storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's kind of exactly what kind of struck me was that it was like it was fingers going out to what are those? What kind of leaves are those? Whatever.
Oak leaves, yeah.
Oak leaves, yeah.
I think he had a little bit too much on the left-hand side too. There's too much here.
Okay.
And kind of it would have been better just to take it down a little bit and then pull this in a little bit more. Cropping is everybody's, problem. We all have problems with cropping.
Okay.
And then I added a little more contrast to it.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have any problems pointing out people's bad cropping.
Yeah, I mean, we all have that issue.
I'm kidding, folk. I'm truly kidding.
No, I like that much better.
See how flat it is? When you take it off,
that's really surprising.
People forget about contrast. I see pictures all the time where contrast is just you look at the picture, it's flat.
Yeah.
Think about how much just adding a little contrast, like it just pops out. Suddenly you've got depth. So think about that when you're post-processing. Obviously this is, when it comes out of the camera, it's going to be flat.
Mm-hmm.
So you almost have to add contrast to every image.
Okay. Okay, great.
Bach, Beethoven. Lots of boom, 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 and then pull back, not creep forward in contrast.
Yeah.
Over-apply colors, over-apply contrast, and then pull back.
Then pull back.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Use too much and then go back. Yeah, go like this and then go, whoa. Let's see where's that's right there, So
yeah. Okay, great.
Okay. This is Alan's. I like the title.
I do too.
Double.
Alan.
Yes, sir.
It looks like you're leaving one scene going off of a set going into another scene. You see where the black ends at the road?
Yeah.
It's like you're leaving a scene and going into another one.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
I'm okay with it. Yes. It's almost like a movie set.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a shadow of a building. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're leaving out of one and going. So it's almost surreal because you have these static items and this truck comes through it. So I applaud and commend you for putting this up for me to knock it down, and I can't.
Okay, well, thank you.
I
I'm
can't.
kind of curious about something here. I'm going to try that.
You know, Lynn, it works both ways.
Yeah. I mean, because the colors are so bright, this kind of takes away from the truck. And what I was thinking is about maybe a little bit more like that. I don't know.
I will ask you to put the color back for me, and then reduce the vibrance down to 0.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, that way the building is sort of overwhelming the truck, but now the truck is actually coming forward.
Now, who was that ask about vibrance and
Duration, yeah.
oh man,
vibrance comes in.
Wait a minute, I am so good.
Yeah, really, sometimes, yeah,
And so humble.
You know, there's a saying that I say, if I have to tell you how great I am, it shows you how insecure I am.
But yeah,
Good one, Karen.
you know, a little bit of color in the tail lights, and yeah, I kind of like this better even than this. You know.
Yeah, I don't like the black and white. I like that less vibrance better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, don't forget you can go the opposite way on those sliders than you would normally think to too. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Lynn. What you're doing. Thank you.
Yes.
Fong, you always got too much stuff in the background. Concentrate on what is your subject. It's racing in the morning. It's not all this other. It's not racing by all this garbage.
Oh, this have a shree boat.
That's okay. We don't need to see all that. We just need to see this. Okay, that's a much stronger image, just like that. Because now all we see is the colors, not all this other stuff.
Fong, I must say that your shooting is getting much better.
Yep,
your eyes getting much better. No, I'm going to tear you down in a few minutes, but on this shot,
you need to remember to crop. Don't be afraid to crop your pictures.
Oh.
Lynn and everybody else, forgive me for what I'm about to say. This image looks almost erotic.
I know.
Hey, I was going to say the same thing. Those are sexy pictures.
Oh man, they are.
Those sand dunes are so sensual. It is insane.
Oh my goodness!
Especially when you go into them with at 200 millimeters. It's just that place was freaking overwhelming. I love it. Yeah.
Hey Lynn.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Oman.
Oh yeah, I need to go to Oman for sure.
And when you do that, call me. I'll tell you what to do. I lived there for like a year.
Yeah. I mean, this was mesquite dunes. There's multiple dune fields in Death Valley. This was mesquite dunes, and when we approached it, it didn't look like much. When we trekked in a mile and 3/4, and most of that was in sand along the edges of these sand dunes. It was this whole place was overwhelming. And this is while I was standing in the dunes. This one was taking the picture from above the dunes on a mountain that was looking over the same place. Totally different look.
I was a little distracted on this one by the dune that's cut off on the very top, about 2/3 over.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That one right there. Brian, 100% correct in this.
I guess what I think this was the top of the image, and I had more at the bottom, and I was having an issue with this dune on a lot of the images. The other part is, I think right above this dune, it starts being all not sandy again. Has a lot of bushes and stuff in it, so I was trying to avoid that.
Give me a quarter off the right side.
this would be better.
Yeah, just give me a quarter off the right side.
Quarter?
Quarter, yeah, just a quarter off there. Not that much, a little bit less. Yeah, okay, good. No, back, come back, come back. Come back a little bit more, touch more. Just back, there you go, good. And come out from the bottom, just slightly from the bottom. I want that guy to be somewhere. There you go. I want that guy to be somewhere. Tap the letter F for me and feel the glory.
Yeah. Yeah, that was us the day I shot the other one.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's just
Yes.
gorgeous.
Actually, that whole series that you had, Lynn, I loved them.
Yeah. I mean, this was, to me, you know, when we pulled up and he said we were going to shoot down on the dunes, I'm like, ugh. And then I get out the 200mm lens and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is so freaking awesome.
You know, Lynn, a lot of times here when we're doing the critiques, we get the same sort of response that I'll come up and start critiquing someone's image, and then I'll pull it in and crop it in, and they'll go like,
yep.
Oh, Robert is so good.
I don't know. The Death Valley is pretty good, Robert. You have
Oh, hey, look,
a lot of competition there.
I say if I have to brag about myself, I got some problems.
Let's see. This one's Rod's. Nope.
I'm not sure that. Thank you very much. I'm not sure about the black space up top.
Yep.
That was my deal.
Yep, too much.
Mm.
And
So
I would have gotten rid of this little stick here,
Yeah.
little stick here. And then let's do, I just love these things. You all know. Invert. And just a tad. How about that?
Do a comparison, Lynn, please.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't take, yeah, here we go. I mean, it's really very small. And I think I would take the whites down just a tad too. Just take down the highlights a little bit. It's a little too white right here. I mean, you can see that it's not up against, so it looks like it's not blown out, but it is because it's all white and it's just so blown out. There's no information there. Yeah, just a little bit of vignetting just helps out a lot. And using the vignette tools, you get you get the darkness all around the whole edge. By using the radio tool, you can put it wherever you want, and you can make it all, it's a weird shape there. You could never do that with a vignette tool, but with the radio gradient, you put the vignette pretty much wherever you want. Robert?
Yeah. I'm ready to go to the next one.
You ready to go to the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
Oops, I don't need that.
Okay, Fong, I'm taking away everything I said about you. Everything. Because what you're giving me is you're giving me something that you recognize as culture. And what I'm seeing is the U-Haul in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. And you cut off her arm.
Yes, this on the February 6th on the downtown, this Chinese Lunar New Year, this performance. But I see the two sides, so not see the central. So the one U-Haul here, I know, because too many American guys here cannot go to
Fong, if she'd been over here in front of this drape,
yes,
that would have been great. Or in front of the wall, but having this behind her, which I'm sure is behind everything, you know, it just ruined your picture. Because all we see is this.
About too many American guys, about 300 in Central. So I cannot.
Wait. You say that this was shot in downtown somewhere?
Water park.
Water park. You said it was too many Americans in your shot.
Yeah. Suppose
Okay,
Chinese show. I think it's more Chinese. I came here 2 minutes American guy.
I
And
love it.
suppose to take a picture in Central. Oh, so there's two sides. So
I love
cannot-
it. Too many Americans. I love it.
Next time, wait till she's in front of the Drake.
And get that American U-Haul out of there.
Yeah, get that American.
yes, this Pampa Mayor came this party said this day Chinese day next for future.
All right, give me more arms and less U-Haul.
Yeah, chopped her arm off too.
Helga, don't do this kind of stuff to me, and then don't show your face or don't talk. Don't
wanna
do this
buy
kind of
that.
stuff.
I want that. I want it by a print.
And she is just she. Oh gosh, you hear me? I know you hear me. I know you do. Yes, I hear the laughter. I know it.
Naturally, I hear her voice.
Yes,
Beautiful.
you could just stop right there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I know you wanted me to say more about it, Helga, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I am going to say something about the next one, though.
I just have one little. I want to just try something real quick.
Tried the crop and I didn't like it. I liked the full picture.
And here's what I want you to know about what you just did. In this, what you just did is a multi-advertising composition.
Yeah.
And so what we do is that we buy this kind of shot so we can use it multiple ways. I can use this on a bus. I can use this on a billboard. I can use it as an advertisement. You have set this composition up so strongly that I can use it several different ways.
But what's with the milk?
It's
What it is.
it's
I
water
didn't-
and milk mixed, so it doesn't have all the spectacles in the water. If you just do water with a flesh going on it, so
Yeah.
it gives you a creamier
Look. Yeah.
surface, and the shadows come out better.
So,
Wow.
so this actually is milk?
Yeah,
It's just you made it orange. Okay.
yeah.
I
I'm
like
just proud to know you, Helga, just proud to be your
Yeah.
friend.
Thank you.
Isn't this almost like minimalism when it's
Oh,
not
absolutely.
like that?
Yeah.
Because when you pop it in,
100%.
to me, then it's not minimalism. But this, to me, is minimalism. I just,
Yes.
just well done, you.
Thank you.
I love this one.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
got a question. Why is there two shadows?
Because I
One
had
is-
the shadow coming, the light came from above, and I had a surface in the back where it came back from. So I had one from the front shadow, and the reflection came from the back and gave me two shadows.
So there's light coming from two different sources.
Yeah, one was
Right,
the
oh, yeah.
the stronger shadow was from the flash, and the little shadow came from the reflection.
All right. Ooh,
This is Tom's as well.
Tom's. Oh,
Hi.
Tom. Yeah.
The new guy.
The new
Oh,
guy.
Tom. Yeah. Tom. I'm going to ask that you give me, when you're shooting portraits, I'm going to ask you to shoot horizontally. Why I'm asking you to shoot horizontally? Because a lot of times what we do is when we shoot a portrait, we shoot that vertical format and it boxes us in. It doesn't give me any breathing room around your subject. By going horizontally, I have a little bit more breathing and I have a little bit more way of composing the image. I don't have to compose it in my final image as a horizontal. I can compose it as a vertical and a horizontal. But if I do it as a vertical only, then I'm stuck.
Good to know.
That makes sense. He's also sitting on a ladder.
Yes.
So
And
can't do that. That's why I did the vertical. The
you say
ladder.
sitting on a ladder and you can't do that?
Well, so I have like a little like a kitchen ladder, and
Yeah.
my buddy spent $500 on pictures of his kids.
Right.
without, like, his wife just did it. And
Uh-huh.
he literally did it the same day. I called him and be like, hey, you got a new kid. If you want, I'll go take pictures of him.
Uh-huh.
So this kid came over to visit me just to like make some food.
Uh-huh.
And I just took a couple quick pictures while he's sitting on a ladder, and I sent it to his mom and asked for $500.
Now you said you can't shoot it horizontally because it's sitting on a ladder. That's what I don't get.
So there was a ladder. I took out the ladder, the line, but there's this big line through the back of his head. Like he was sitting on a ladder where like there was like a
Oh,
like the ladder came across. And so
Okay.
it like made him look like he was wearing one of those hats with an arrow through his head.
But you were going to take the ladder out no matter which way you shot it.
I'm not very good at that. So I have a couple where it is horizontal, and I couldn't get the hair right on the horizontal ones because of like how like the horizontal shot was hitting his shoulders, and where it was a black ladder and it came in here. And so I went vertical to minimize the amount of ladder.
Okay, I
And
understand.
there's only a ladder coming out of what is his, the top of the ladder was only coming out of what is his right cheek. And so I was making my life easier. Also, the kid's got a really expressive face, and I was trying to fill the frame with his eyes and his face.
I understand.
You see what I did here, Tom? I lowered, again, I think it might be the monitor, but I lowered the highlights, actually decreased the contrast and put just a little bit of warmth in the picture. But then I lowered the clarity, which is
Yeah, I see that.
because it gets rid of that bright white spot on his face. And it just, a little child, children, you want them to be a little softer looking, and women especially.
The only thing is, I don't know, Lynn, his eyes look too soft on what you did. I mean,
Yeah, I was just doing, I was doing it globally. You could
yeah,
do that.
yeah. I like his eyes on the before. I see what you're talking about, or down his nose.
Yeah, you'd have to do it separately so you wouldn't
take time to do it. Leave his eyes short.
Yeah, but it did give, it did give a little bit more detail in his hair. Not much, but it just definitely softens up the face a little bit.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Look a little rosier. Robert?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just thought it was a little tight.
Yeah. Makes sense because I have the pixels to do that.
Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here in Tampa Bay Camera Club, we're not here to make sense. We're here to make dollar bills. Just so you know.
Oh, Karen.
Karen,
Okay.
yes. Karen.
Go ahead.
All right, Karen, when you're channeling Georgia O'Keeffe there, you got to consider a number of things here. Now, let's just look at the negative or the dark areas.
Okay.
That's not helping your composition at all. At all.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't know that I can fix this.
You can't.
I mean, unless you go all the way up to this and that.
Well, yeah, if I go up to there, then I'd have a much better shot.
Yeah.
I would. I'd have a much better shot.
Unless we did something. I mean, not even that. There's just, it's at a weird angle. I know where you were going for, but it's not working. And
see, but I like the curves around where the dark place, and especially on the left. I really liked where it was just kind of flowing.
Yes, it's flowing on the left, but it's incongruent on the right.
Yeah,
that's where the problem is.
I was like trying to think. Whoops, sorry. I was just trying, because it's not even, you couldn't even like mirror it.
No.
Straight. If it was straight, you could have mirrored it and made it the same on both sides. But it's, it's not mirror enough to do that with. There's a guy on Instagram called Billy Backer, and he does some crazy stuff with mirroring that is with flowers that is absolutely incredible. Not going for Georgia O'Keeffe, but If you want to see somebody that mirrors stuff, he's something else. But yeah, this is just, it is really, really, really grainy. Probably because it was at 12,100.
Right. Mhm.
And let me just show you, while I've got you in here, I am going to take you guys into, if you have not seen this before, hopefully it won't crash because I'm in Zoom, but I'm going to open up Topaz Denoise.
What was the name of that guy? Billy.
Billy his name is Billy Backer. It's Billy. I think it's Bakker. I am in Topaz Denoise AI, and this is a plugin that you can use right in Lightroom. And as you can see, it has a couple of different options here, but right there, look at the noise reduction. And obviously, when you move it, it has to redo the preview. But I use this probably on 90% of my images because I do a lot of cropping, and when you crop, you get a lot of noise. And then obviously when you shoot at high ISOs, you get a lot of noise. And this solves the problem that Tom was talking about.
Yeah.
Lynn, they have a AI 3.5 out. That's the latest version.
Yeah.
And pretty soon you won't need anybody like me because they'll run it through all these programs and it'll come out perfect.
So nobody's mentioned it, Susan, but when they post the recording for this session, you should listen to it because something's really whacked with your microphone.
Mine?
No, Karen's.
Karen, yeah. Karen's got some weird echoes going on.
And Sherry too, you should listen to what we're hearing.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, here's another one of Helga's.
Helga, here's the case where I don't need that bottom shadow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't need it at all. And by removing that shadow out of it, it's a beautiful composition in play here.
That's easy fix, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get that out of there. And I think I would almost like a little bit more definition on this, on the seed.
You know how small that thing is?
I know, it's tiny, but I'm just talking, I just added a little bit of clarity here, and I might want to see what dehaze does. A little bit too much. But then when you do that, you get a little bit more, you see the bubbles a little bit more, the drops.
Yeah, it's, I didn't want it overdoing it to introduce.
All right, just for sake of doing it, you reset everything back. Get a brush, Lynn.
Yeah.
And I want you to do texture and clarity, 100%. And only paint that center portion area there. And with the bubbles, and now you get all that you asked for, just that one little stroke right there.
Okay. That's easy fix.
Yeah, definitely, if you put them side by side, you can definitely see the difference there. See, it's sort of soft, almost softish right there, where here you can actually see more definite detail.
It's hard to focus on those little suckers.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know.
Wonderful shot though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sherry.
Sherry.
She's new.
Okay, I'm gonna. It's not so much that I'm Sherry. We tend to in this club not stylize anything, and because the thing is that the image needs to come through. You stylizing something, it's always going to beautify it more. But when you bring the image by itself, then you're able to get a better critique from it rather than the stylization of it.
Okay. And he means what do you mean by stylization?
The line treatment that you put around it.
The frame.
Yeah, that's your style. That's stylizing it.
Yep. Don't frame it.
Why is that other horse's legs in there?
Yeah, you should have
That
gotten.
becomes the critique.
Now comes the critique. Yeah, you know, if you want the horse to have some room to move into, so you
Yeah,
really
but-
couldn't crop him like that. So you would need to go in here and get rid of him. The rear end of the horse.
All right, your thoughts about what was just said, Sherry. Give me some feedback.
Oh, yeah, I thought about that, but then I thought, it looks kind of, yeah, I should have done it.
Yeah, again, this one's shot probably, I'd say 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
You're right, yep.
So your lighting is a little harsh. So as you see, I've taken the highlights down, but it sort of messes up everything else. But I mean, you can't. It's really the guy's shirt is totally blown out. So you got to watch that kind of stuff when you do stuff like this. I mean, you can bring up some details without. I don't know. It's just really situation. You got a white horse and I mean, actually, it would have been harder if you had a black horse. So. And we've got some, I don't know what these artifacts, we've got some dark halos going around here. Not if that's because of what I just did, it might be. Nope, they're still there. Got some halos right here. You see those? They're dark. I don't know if it's, if you use too much clarity or something, but Jim would have picked those up in 2 seconds. And I'm sure that's probably, he definitely probably saw those, but there's darknesses right around each leg. You have to watch for those, and usually that's from post processing.
Okay.
Where was this picture taken?
Saratoga polo thing.
Yeah, New York.
No.
Is it
Saratoga,
Saratoga,
yeah.
New York?
Sarasota.
Oh, you said Sarasota. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just, yeah. We don't have
Sarasota, not Saratoga.
That's where we went that time with
what is it, Lakewood Ranch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. On to the last one. Barry. This guy looks like a monster.
Yes. The shot itself is very effective. The focus is back behind it on the apartment or the building.
Yeah. See, his face is all obscure. It looks like a monster face.
Right. This is extremely low light photography, so
Yeah,
it's hard to pull out detail. It ended up being pushed to about 6,400.
I mean, yeah.
This was totally unplanned. This is just basically waiting for the train to cross into the light in the street so I can shoot more of a documentary shot. But I saw, he's carrying the flare and I was like, well, that's really interesting. So I pointed the camera basically into the shadows before it came to the street, and it ended up being a very interesting shot. But with this kind of a shot, again, when the train's moving and it lasts an instant, you get what you get.
I agree.
I just cropped it a little bit to eliminate some of this stuff around the outside that doesn't really be.
Sure. Yeah, of course, again, I struggle with cropping this.
Yeah. I mean, this pole and the wires, get rid of that. I know it's getting rid of some of the train, but we know it's a train because we've got the engine.
Right.
And this way it's more about the train and the guy.
Absolutely.
As best you can. I mean, obviously this background with all the lights in it's not helping you any at all. This is a tough image.
Yeah, I was really surprised by how much detail came through in this in such darkness.
Yeah, he just kind of looked like a monster.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't put detail where there isn't any, I guess. Even AI can't fix that.
Let's see if we can change the light.
But what we can do is we can continue to shoot and focus on that guy and shoot several frames and then reimpose the information into the photograph.
Yeah,
that's true. Yes, I actually have about 6 or 7 different frames of this, and there's only one where he's in this nice position with the smoke behind him and all that. Yeah, so I probably could do some more with other images too.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's just, it's difficult when you've got a subject that's moving, when you've got lots of things moving. You got this moving, you got him, moving, you got the torch moving, you got the smoke moving. I mean, there's just so much, it's hard to deal with something like that. But I think even just cropping it down just improves it a lot.
Yeah, and I had to shoot at 160 to the second. This is as slow as I dare go. I just have to go that slow, but otherwise it's just all noise.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Use the Topaz denoise.
I use DxO denoise.
Yeah, DxO denoise does a pretty good job too.
Yeah, it does I've tried them both, and I find DxO is much more effective with, especially for astrophotography.
Yeah.
But it only works on raw files.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay, guys, that's it.
Right. Yeah.
Wonderful job, folk. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
And we'll have
Quite
a
a number
great
of winners.
weekend, and we will see you all next Friday night for astrophotography. Woo woo.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, Mr. Leon. We will see you too next time.
Oh my God, we actually saw his face. Woo!
I didn't see him. I missed him.
Yeah, he was there for a second.
He's there. Oh, there he
Hey,
is.
Leon. Hey, Leon, are you going to be up for just a second?